Hello, my friends, and welcome to day 21 of this extreme budget challenge. Today, I'm going to make some biscuits a little bit different than I normally do. I know I talked about it, but I'm going to use some bacon grease, which I keep in my freezer. So there's about a quarter cup or so in here, and that will be enough to put into my bowl. I had it out of the freezer for a little bit so that it would be soft enough to work with. So in the bowl, I have a cup of the self-rising flour, and I'm going to use this pastry blender to cut this in. It's just too soft in order to shave it in like I did before. Sorry, I'm not thinking very straight today. Anyway, it is a little bit messy, so take your time, and you're going to make these about the size of a pea or so before you start adding in your milk, which normally I use about a half a cup of milk with some vinegar in it, but because the budget's so tight, I used a quarter cup of milk and I added some water, which, sometimes you may have to do when you're on such an extreme budget. So anyway, I'm going to get this all cut in and I'll be right back. Okay, that looks about right. So the next step is I am going to add in my milk here. Like I said, I have about a half a cup, but I never add the full amount. Normally, it, depends on how you measure your flour and stuff like that. I'm going to start to bring this together. And eventually I'll have to, use my hand and get it fully incorporated. So let me start bringing this together and we'll get this ready to cut them out. All right, now that I have it as together as I can with the spatula, I'm going to use my hands and I'm going to bring this together the best that I can. I don't want to add too much of the milk. So I'm going to turn this out on the floured counter and just kind of push it together. You don't want to knead it too much because you can make your biscuits tough. So this takes just a few seconds to, bring it all together. And then I just pat it out and get it ready to make into the biscuits. All right, now I have to decide what size cutter I want to use. And I think I'm going to use these for dinner. So I used my the wide mouth canning ring, and I'm going to try to get 3 biscuits out of this. With the small ring, I tend to get 5 or 6. So I have an idea what I'm going to do for dinner. The guys did not eat all of their biscuit gravy or sausage gravy. So I think I'm going to use part of that or what's ever left over for dinner, these bacon biscuits, and then I think I'm going to maybe do a fried egg on top. I don't know. It sounds kind of good to me, but we'll see anyway. And I'm just going to try to make this little one for myself. All right, so now I'm going to do the usual, put them in the refrigerator or the freezer for a little bit, bake them 425 for about 8 minutes. Okay, day 7 is usually my clean out the refrigerator day. So I have those bacon biscuits under here, the rest of these sausage gravy that the guys didn't eat, and then I decided to top it with a nice fried egg. I'm not great at frying eggs, but anyway, there we go. And just so you guys know, I will do a separate video and tell you all about my dogs, how they're doing, and a little bit about myself because a few people asked anyway. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, please let me know in the comments below.